Guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over an article titled, Cheating on My Husband Made Me a Better Mother. And guys, no joke, this whole article, this whole story this woman's going to tell is her justifying her cheating on her husband was a good thing because it made her a better mom. That now that she's cheated on her husband and is getting some side dick, that basically things are great with the kids and they're feeling better, they're better behaved because I'm happier and I'm more relaxed and on and on and on. And it's unbelievable, okay? The justification here for her cheating makes her a better mom. It's crazy. And believe me, guys, I've done plenty of videos and read plenty of articles about women justifying their actions, but this definitely takes the cake in the most absurd reasons to justify cheating, okay? And I've said this before, guys, and this doesn't make a difference if you're a woman or a man, goes both ways. If you're at a point in a relationship, whether you're married or just, have an exclusive girlfriend or boyfriend, and you're at a point that's bad enough that you gotta cheat, just end it. Seriously, okay? Because I promise you, one way or another, it will come back to bite you in the ass later on down the road. Not to mention the fact you're really going to hurt someone and so forth, okay? It's just not worth it. So guys, if you're in a marriage and you're that unhappy, bite the bullet and end it. Yes, you're going to get hit in the divorce process, I guarantee it. But if you're going to end up cheating on her, eventually you're going to get caught. And what could happen is you'll end up getting divorced anyway, and she can use that more as a way to really hammer you in the divorce process, and she could end up telling the kids and turn them against you. Because I've known a couple guys, one in particular, that's what happened. The wife used that as a way to turn the kids against him, and to this day they still don't talk, okay? Or the opposite, where the woman cheats on the guy, and eventually it gets caught, he divorces her, and the kids find out, and they're not talking to her. So she's better off just ending it. But people are going to do it anyway, and a lot of times women in particular, they do it because they're pissed off at the husband for something and some payback, or they need that thrill in their marriage, or simply they don't want to leave the cash cow, so they're going to have fun on the side. Okay, so you're going to see this, how the justification for this dishonorable action. It's unbelievable here. So starting off, it says, my affair made me happier, and by consequence also my kids. While waiting in line at the market to buy groceries with my 2 children, my younger son reached to hug me. Pulling my cheek toward his lips, he planted a kiss there. What a sweet boy you have, the checker said as she began to scan our items. Not to be outdone, my older son helped bag the groceries. The checker gushed more. I was astonished myself. This was not normal. Usually my 2 sons, aged 8 and 9 respectively, were getting into mischief. They broke down into tantrums as a daily occurrence. They acted out more than they behaved. Had my sons changed, or was it I who was the one that was different? I had changed. After years of suffering in a miserable marriage, I decided to have an affair. If she's suffering, end it. We all know darn well women make out like bandits in the divorce, so why stay in it? And don't tell me for the kids, because the kids are going to see you in an unhappy marriage. They're going to think, oh, that's just how things are. And 20 years down the road, the likelihood is they'll be in the same situation. Do you really want that for your children? Seriously. I was no longer the same person. I felt happier than I had in a long time, and that happiness was rubbing off on my sons. Gee, I have an idea. Try to fix your marriage, try to fix things in your own life, and by being happier, then that will help rub off on your sons, not by you getting some side dick from the UPS driver. Come on, lady. Don't get me wrong. I'm not promoting cheating on one spouse as a solution to a couple's marriage problems. Yes, she is. Who are you kidding, lady? Even back then, I knew cheating was wrong. So she means now she knows it's not wrong? But being angry and depressed while enduring an unhappy marriage was also bad. Cheating was but a band-aid over the festering wound that was my marriage. Though admittedly, as my affair did provide a reprieve. It made me happier, and as a result, my kids became happier too. And in that way, cheating on my husband made me a better mother. Oh, for God's sakes, lady, come on here. Be a better mother by getting things together in your life. If you're that unhappy with your husband, try, if you have a remote level of love for the guy left, try to work some stuff out, and if not, then end it, okay? And then you can be happy with the kids not doing this dishonorable action here. She says, think of it this way. I'd been cranky for months on end, often in a dark mood. I was easily annoyed at the slightest infraction on the parts of my sons. You mean little boys being boys? That's what they do. They get into mischief. Okay? But she was probably losing her shit over minor crap, and it was obviously a very unhappy situation. Suddenly my mood had brightened. I could sweat the small stuff and go with the flow. Of course, my sons reacted to that. I can only imagine that was the reason why my boys helped push out our cart to the car that day at the market. They unloaded the bags into the trunk for me, then got into the car without me having to demand it. Within minutes of starting our drive home, though, my eldest son's device ran out of a battery. He scooched as far as the seatbelt would allow him across the back seat to where his younger brother was seated. He wanted to watch his brother's device, but my youngest was none too happy about sharing his YouTube video. An argument broke out, whereas a few weeks earlier, I would have screamed into the back seat. I calmly told my sons, please stop arguing and just share with each other. Something about my peaceful tone, the shock of me not becoming incensed. This stunned both of my children into halting their squabble. My youngest son let his older brother share his device. My eldest quietly watched. All this because of the way I had reacted. What a difference from how I would have treated the scenario before my affair. Now I felt too content to be angry. Listen to the justification for all this. It's unbelievable. But hey, you know what? If she's obviously that unhappy with her marriage, go home, end the thing, okay? And then you can be happy all the time. Well, we all know that, I guess, they're never really happy, but end the thing and have a second chance, okay? But don't go cheating on your husband and then use the fact you're calm and the kids are happy because you're being calm and not flying off the handle over minor stuff to justify doing that. Come on here. She says, instead I beamed good vibes onto everyone. Obviously my kids were the main benefactors of my cheerier spirit. I never say that having an affair was a smooth ride. At first I felt guilty about it. I was terrified my sons would notice a change in me, some evidence of betrayal. The first time I slept with my new lover was on an early weekday afternoon. Directly afterwards, I had to go pick up my sons from school. Would my sons smell the deceit on me? Could they see the deception in my face? I don't think they're going to smell the FedEx or the UPS driver on you, lady. My sons noticed nothing. They scurried out of their classrooms, the same as always. Just like any other day, they galloped ahead of me to the car, tumbling inside and immediately begging me to stop at the donut shop. On our route home from school each day, we drove right past a donut store. Usually I had the resolve not to stop. Today, I didn't. I felt terrible about what I'd just done with another man behind my husband's back. I felt the powerful need to atone for my sins. I'd apologized to my sons with donuts, absolved by sugar and fat. I was much less nervous my husband would discover my cheating. He hadn't even mentioned the noise since we arrived home. Interesting how she said she was more worried that her sons might figure out something was off as opposed to her husband noticing that. Something tells me that she's actually trying to sabotage the situation and then use that as a reason to end the marriage. But you're going to see how this ends in a few minutes. The boys scarfed their treats. As I wiped the crumbs from their faces, I wished my life was as easy to clean. I felt soiled, and now even worse after filling my sons' bellies with sugar and fried dough. I tried to mitigate those feelings by brushing my son's teeth as soon as we reached home. If I couldn't clean my conscience, then I could clean my child's mouth. Good Lord. Well, she might want to clean her mouth too after her rendezvous with her lover, after she's done helping her sons brush their teeth. I went after my eldest first. He wouldn't hold still long enough for me to get the toothbrush into his mouth. Bouncing from the sugar, he shot away from me. I chased him around the room. By the time I finally caught up to him and managed to brush his teeth, I was too tired to try again with his younger brother. Where was their father while all this was happening? Sleeping? Reading about one of his conspiracy theories? Watching porn? He was just ignoring me like he always did. No wonder I was cheating on him. You see the justification here? He's ignoring me. Well, one has to ask, is there a reason he was ignoring her? Okay, we're not getting the husband side of the scenario here. Maybe he really is just a jackass, and who the hell knows? Or maybe he's a good guy, he's been worn down by her over the years. and doesn't want to be around her, and like her is staying in it for the kids, or who the hell knows. But you can't just dismiss that the husband's a supervillain and therefore that's okay for her to go ahead and cheat on the guy and cheat on her family. That's really what's going on here. And so I don't want to hear this, it makes me the super mom song and dance. That's a bunch of crap. Again, she says, I was much less nervous he would discover my cheating. He hadn't even mentioned the noise since we arrived home. Still, guilt nagged me. Over the coming days, those feelings eventually disappeared. I stopped condemning myself so harshly. My shame was replaced with a sense of tranquility and ease. And my sons ultimately benefited from that. Back to the sons. Before I met my lover, I often received calls and emails from my eldest son's teacher about how he was disrupting the classroom. My youngest was still unable to read. I believe our miserable home life was affecting both my son's ability to sit still and learn. Once I started having an affair, the disorder in our household quieted. I was no longer so depressed, picking fights with my husband whenever I could. Ding, ding, ding. Now I had someone else to occupy my thoughts and fulfill my emotional needs. So the kids were misbehaving in school. The kids were rambunctious and all that stuff outside of school. And all of a sudden, because she's more relaxed and easygoing and pleasant because she's getting some side loving, all of a sudden the kids are acting a lot better. How about she gets her act together and the kids will be better anyway? And don't just use the excuse of banging the FedEx driver that's making everything okay here. Okay? The kids are going to follow the parents' lead. And the kids obviously know that things are obviously very bad in the house. This is why, like I said, it's that bad, end it. Okay, notice that she's temporarily happy because of her lover, so the kids are feeling more relaxed, at ease, and they're not misbehaving. For years, I've been unable to give my kids the attention they needed because I was so unhappy. Now I could. A lot of times kids start raising hell and doing things like that because they're not getting the attention from mom and dad. And when they are getting the attention, this isn't always, that's when things calm down. It was only then that my eldest finally stopped acting out and my youngest learned to read. I'm not promoting cheating, but it did help my family. I know the idea of cheating on one spouse is distasteful to many. I agree, I should just left my marriage. That's the first smart thing she has said in this many-page article that I'm doing. But that's not the decision I made. I had the affair instead. Shocker. My real healing didn't start until I finally left my husband, though. He also had problems that he could not recover from after we separated. But I don't believe I would have ever mustered the courage to leave my marriage if I hadn't had the affair. I had to separate my identity from my husband's. Cheating drew a line in the sand that defined where my love for my husband ended. It marked the conclusion of our relationship. After that, there was no going back. Yeah, a big part of this wasn't just her emotional needs. All this was also a way to justify ending it, when she just simply ended it. I don't know how this is going to end, but she's darn lucky that he didn't find out, and then that could have been used against her, and then turn the kids against her. I'm not trying to credit her or anything like that. I'm just saying that she lucked out here, but who the hell knows later on down the road. Even though my affair was short-lived, during the time it lasted, in a strange way, it helped my entire family. Good Lord. And one of the most important ways it helped us was by making me a better mother. Yeah, sure. So guys, like I said in the beginning, I've read many articles, done many videos, and this is probably what takes the cake in terms of the absurd justification for cheating on a guy. I mean, come on, it made me a better mother and better with the family, and the kids are behaving in school and all this. Give me a break. But guys, we all know the joke about women and accountability here, so there you go. So guys, if you are married right now and it's a bad situation and things like that, you better keep an eye on your wife. If you truly care about her, love her, take the actions to try to better the situation first. Really, taking her out, making her feel loved and all that stuff. This isn't the relationship channel, but I've been enough of them to be able to know what to do. But if you have reached a point that you're just doing it for staying in the marriage for the kids, or you're sticking in it because you want to get hammered in the divorce, just end it. Take the hit, move the hell on, start over, because this type of crap can happen. And of course, the kids are going to see you and the wife unhappy and all that, and it's going to impact them as it did with her kids. And then hopefully the kids will have a second shot at seeing a normal, healthy relationship and not end up being screwed up just like you parents are later in life. And for the women watching this, again, you're that unhappy, you're that miserable, end it. Don't cheat on the guy, move on, okay? Because we all know darn well you're going to make out like bandits in the divorce process anyway. And again, it come back to bite you in the butt one day. So anyhow, guys, I thought that was an interesting one to do. I saw that and I had to share it with you guys. So, all right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.